With Showdown Joe Ferraro. Joe, MMA Day here. What are your thoughts on this big event?
I've been blessed and I'm completely honored to be asked to come out here and speak on this. It's one of those things. It's been 12 years coming for me since 1998, and they brought me on because they know how happy I've been. It's just something I live and breathe mixed martial arts. I'm so passionate about it. It's a dream of mine to be standing here on Parliament Hill in Queen's Park in Toronto to talk about mixed martial arts, to raise awareness that we want to sanction the sport here. I mean, it's been around since 1993.
Right.
It's changed so much. It's almost been 2 decades since the first UFC event. It's changed. You know, in 2001, the first set of rules for unified rules of mixed martial arts were established, picked up by the Association of Boxing Commissions, of which the Ontario Athletic Commission is a member of. You know, and of course, the past 5 years, an estimated $40 million have been spent outside of Ontario's borders to support mixed martial arts. I think we should keep that money here. So we're just going to raise awareness, and we know that the government has tons of priorities here. We don't expect mixed martial arts to be the top priority, but we want to keep it on the radar. We don't want it to fall down the ladder. Just keep it up there and let them know that, listen, people want the sport here. Kids, moms, dads, guardians of our future, the athletes and fans, the consumers, they want the sport here. And people are voting in politicians. Let's get this done.
Now, I was reading on your blog on Sportsnet, there's a rumor the UFC might have, booked the Rogers Center next year. Do you think they could sell that out if they did hold the show next year in 2011?
If you saw my article, what I said, and I tell Dana White all the time, if they want to have an event at the Rogers Center and they want to break that WWE record, I think it was WrestleMania 18,
right?
X8. If they want to break that record, you need 5 title fights, man. Because the events that they hold are 20,000. Max 21,380 or 370 is the record, and that was in Montreal. You're asking to triple that number.
Yeah.
You need. Then again, George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva, you might get 68,000 people. That's like the Mayweather, Pacquiao fight for mixed martial arts. So you never know. I mean, again, and I gave him the whole analogy of the WC, UFC, kind of amalgamate them all weight classes. You take the best, put them in the UFC. You take the guys that are on the cusp and coming up, you put them on the WEC. You have a real farm system. You kind of like that idea. So we'll see where it goes. By the time that happens, Anderson Silva and GSP. Come on, GSP's got to fight Koscheck first. Anderson's got to do Chael Sonnen and Vitor Belfort. A lot of things need to happen for that fight to happen. But they come to the Rogers Center, and he wants to sell out the 68,000 and plus. It's going to be a lot of fun.
People talk about sanctioning in Ontario, and they think, well, the UFC will be able to come to Toronto. But aside from that, what else does it mean to have the MMA sanctioned in Ontario? What are the other benefits of the sport being sanctioned here?
You've known me for a very long time. You know the passion I have, and my belief is if you sanction mixed martial arts in Ontario, I think the fighters and the athletes and the community in Ontario is going to be the best in the world, only because of a few things. I want to create an amateur system here like they have in amateur boxing,
right,
where the kids can come up the ranks, okay? Then when they go pro when they're 18, they've got the experience to go pro as opposed to going pro when they're 18 and having no fights whatsoever. When you sanction and regulate mixed martial arts, you're going to start building a market. You're going to start building a situation where guys are given a chance to compete. You're going to start building that grassroots movement that eventually you see that George St. Pierre is coming out of Ontario.
Right.
And of course there's the economic impact. The business of mixed martial arts, and not just the big shows, the business of mixed martial arts for a commission, for the government, the taxes, the revenues, the merchandising is absolutely huge. Like I said, the past 5 years has been estimated $40 million has been lost. The money being spent, not lost, we shouldn't say that, but spent outside the province. Now imagine if mixed martial arts was sanctioned, let's say in 2001. Think how big that sport would have been here, and the money the government and just the industries would have made. So many jobs would have been created, gyms opening up, the film industry. Let's get it done.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate all your passion for the sport, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.